Is Kugisaki Nobara alive? Do we have enough hype and hopium in Gege Akutami that he keeps our girl Nobara alive and well back into the story of JJK? And simply if you believe either or, if she has passed on or is still living in the story, it's all still skepticism. Gege has made it very ambiguous as to the fate of Nobara, but if you ask me, I think it's a very possible chance that she is alive. Today we will be going over Nobara's fate in JJK and a little bit of what she adds to the story and how her presence impacts the series of Jujutsu Kaisen. To a lot of us, Nobara is a fan favorite, and it feels like there is a certain thing missing without her, and Shibuya has shifted the series' tone from something like controlling the chaos to borderline annihilation. Gege is taking away incredible characters, and post Shibuya we are just left to pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. So let's look at the fate of Nobara Kugisaki in Jujutsu Kaisen. First off, it's pretty much solidified how important Nobara is in JJK. It's not just her screen time or her power or relevance. Nobara is a character you can click with. She is not trying to be anything but a better Nobara Kugisaki. She is a prime example of a growing sorcerer and has just as much potential as her peers like Yuji and Megumi. And that's a bit of what we'll discuss today. And don't you guys miss that dynamic of Nobara being around? She was always so tough and badass, yet she had a bit of a girly charm to her, and Gege really kind of emphasizes that. She was a very, very good comfort character, and Nobara breaks a lot of norms with shonen females and has a very self-affirmed vigor that comes with her character. And she's very intriguing because Nobara's backstory isn't really that dark, but it has a lot to do with growing up and growing distant from other people. And Nobara still values her friendships and her memories of her past because those little insignificant and very subtle details made Nobara the woman who she is today. And it's very hard to express, but Kugisaki has some incredibly refined and naturalness that goes along with her character. And in her last moments, it was like we saw the unfair reality of the ones she left behind and the cruelty of her being a sorcerer. But she has some solace in the end. In the end, Nobara died without regret, and that's actually pretty special. But now us readers and the main cast are just forced to deal with this gaping hole now that Nobara has been incapacitated by Mahito's technique. And that's the best way to describe Nobara's situation: incapacitated. It feels like Nobara is in a limbo of life and death. Gege has described that idol transfiguration has made the left side of her face and head ruptured. It's a really, really serious injury, something that really pushes the kind of head trauma that would kill a person. And Nobara isn't a particular powerhouse in the series, so it came as quite a shock to see her take on this violent injury. And a huge problem is that this wound was inflicted by idol transfiguration. So this didn't just do physical damage, but also harmed her soul as well, and it was so close to the brain. Luckily there is hope, and a sorcerer like Nobara is especially strong. So one touch only managed to cause some head trauma, unlike the absolutely gory and outrageously vile transfigurations that we have seen. Also, Arata Nita managed to halt Nobara's condition, so she is now in ultra critical condition, but her chances are not zero. A lot of us fans theorize reverse curse is an option, and this is probably the most likely outcome. It's still a bit of a reach because idol transfiguration is something that cannot be fixed. But if you were to take this in context with Junpei's example, it would depend on the boundary of the user's reverse curse. What are the limits of it? Of course, a fully mutated human is beyond help, but if there was a way to stop a hemorrhage of the brain or reinforce an inflicted wound from idol transfiguration, that's kind of the best thing we can hope for. It's probably why there's so many theories and speculation of Nobara losing an eye, but gaining reverse curse technique. Nobara is an extremely skilled sorcerer. What's very impressive about her is her very advanced use of cursed energy applied in and out of techniques. She is someone who can remotely activate her curse technique and has an effect even on the composition of the soul as well. Her understanding of cursed energy has only improved ever since she unlocked Black Flash. She is one of the rare users of this and a rather young sorcerer to have unlocked Black Flash as a first year. Not only that, but Nobara is etching closer to feeling the core of cursed energy. She is honing her skills to grasp the impossible and maybe even become a reverse curse technique user. Being near death and having such refined cursed energy control could hint Nobara will revive with reverse curse technique to at least stabilize herself. If Nobara was to make a comeback, she would be very strong with reverse curse technique and would be one of the few who has both reverse curse and Black Flash, and surely this could be applied to her straw doll technique, maybe even in some kind of curse technique reversal or firing nails that release reverse curse technique. She would be one of the better sorcerers with a higher Jujutsu sense, and it's all just speculation, but it's really something to think about. Nobara is always trying to be better. She knows it was dangerous in Shibuya, but she had to do something with her power. She had to fight for her future and her friends who she treasured, and simply she paid for that. Her story is like hard-hitting reality, and Mahito woke us up. Her loss hit hard. The most difficult part about her death is that even when there is hope, there's always a chance she won't come back, even with the amount of potential a character like Nobara has. Megumi and Yuji talk about her, and it's really not good news. It kind of just adds to the severity of her condition. And I know a lot of us fans hate Mahito's guts for what he did and all the death he caused, but Mahito was that mirror. He was like the face of death and heartache, and all of that ugliness that humans curse is put on full display with Mahito. It's not sugar-coated, it's not hidden, it's not drawn back. The horror is always on full display, and that was especially true in Shibuya with this unfair reality. So it's really up to Nobara as to how she faces her death. Will she succumb to it or reach the core of cursed energy and revive from it? How strong do you guys think she is? I know we want to see Nobara again, see her fight, her battle, just to see her laugh and to see her smile again, just to be back into the main clique. It was kind of brief, but Nobara, Megumi, and Yuji are like the famous trio of Jujutsu Kaisen. So maybe, just maybe one day, Gege will let us have that again. But the series has changed after Shibuya, it really has. The only certainty is that there is uncertainty, and I think her comeback has to be something that makes sense and feels as natural as possible in the story or in the plot, or it will feel off. That's why Gege has been so careful with her return. She could be lying in a hospital bed for all we know, or she could be super strong, healthy, just super buffed with reverse curse technique and more curse energy control. Gege has been cooking, he's been stellar so far, so I imagine whatever the outcome is, it will be amazing story-wise. Thank you guys for checking out this quick video. I have my hopes for Nobara in the future, but I'd also love to see how you guys feel in the comments and what you guys think about it. Nobara is a great character and very iconic in her own way, so her reintroduction should be something special, or we could at least get an update on her situation. The story is really moving fast, the plot is getting crazier and crazier, and the longer this goes on, the more Nobara misses out on. So maybe during the next stage of this arc, or even during the next arc, she will make a comeback. But for now, Gege leaves us with a sliver of hope, so it's up to him how this goes. But thank you guys for your support. This has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.